I am speechless. Locomotion has reached new heights, it seems. A mechanical serpent, each of its segments large enough to transport so many, and so much. Yet another astonishing achievement, I must say. The creator stated. It is quite impressive. It facilitates business, where greed shows itself the most, one of the catalysts for the growth of my essence. Many anomalies exist in this sector. Do you think we're getting closer to finding a human worthy of power? Possibly, although most are so plain after all. The only thing that drives them being paper and rusty metals. What about the odd ones? About them, I do find the ones who kill for no apparent reason interesting, as well as promising. Enjoyment was never within my rules as a source that would prompt them to do so, especially not with such enthusiasm. I always thought of enjoyment as a source. No, we could not have created them like that, or else they'd still be stuck in the Stone Age, unable to control their urges. I fear we may be stuck then. Are you sure there hasn't been a single one that caught your eye? His sharp clawed hand comes up to his chin as he ponders. There was one, long ago, a prince who impaled his enemies on stakes to instill terror in all that opposed him. His body was frail and weak, however. Bloodlust alone isn't enough to impress me, much less having others taint their hands for you. I want enjoyment and deviousness. They'll come along, I'm sure of it. We must stay persistent. They better hurry. My new creation is almost finished, and I'm quite eager to test it. St. Mark's Evangelical Lutheran Church, 5:23 a.m. He returns once more. This time, it wasn't a triumphal and flawless arrival. He was struggling to walk properly. With his body shaking, he slumps back to the pew. Sitting wouldn't be the right word. He let himself fall on top of it, creaking under his weight. He looks down at his ravaged clothes, still imprisoning his now wounded flesh. There are so many tiny holes, more than he can count. His fingers begin digging into each one, retrieving from small to outright tough-to-see glass shards. With each pluck, a bit of blood spewed out, further tainting his clothes. If he wasn't terrifying enough already, he's even more akin to a movie serial killer now. Whatever. His mind chooses to focus on critical subjects instead, the occasional tinkling of glass hitting the floor accompanying his thought process. There isn't much he can do while in this state. He should just lay low for a while. He's not sure how fast his body can recover. It's nothing more than a waiting game. There's just pain everywhere. Not even the gunshots back at the warehouse hurt this much. But it wasn't a mere thug he fought an hour ago. Instead, a deadly trickster. William's abilities weren't about raw power, but deadly precision and timing. It hurt like hell every time he pulled something off. They were more like a long and pointy shiv, going up against a large yet rusty warhammer. But it's not like he's no more than a brute. He couldn't afford to be one against him after all. He's proud of the creative ways he used his power, primarily the portals. He didn't realize at first just how quickly he can set them up, allowing an almost infinite number of ways to use them. He only wishes they could be bigger than the size of an average man. And yet, he knows that William's power still pales in comparison to other hosts. People are so used to unspeakable horrors by now. He had no idea they could take such a simple form. Anyhow, it's better to put his mind into removing the rest of the shards now, instead of thinking just how much harder things can get. After finishing, he lies down on the pew, alone with his thoughts in this dark dungeon. It's no wonder humans are wired to depend on one another. There's no other way to say it. It's been such a lonely time. Even though he's yet to know him, he wishes for Toby to appear once again in that doorframe. It might have been unsettling once, yet soothing now. Hell, it wouldn't even have to be him. Just anyone. Anyone at all. To think it would get so bad in such a short amount of time that even his worst enemies would make for decent company. At the very least, the silence of the early morning calms his agitated mind, the looming darkness inside the church setting the perfect ambience for a peaceful slumber. Although the pew's surface is almost freezing, his thick clothes prevent contact with his skin. But that's all he has. A bed would be nothing short of a luxury. He wonders how his family is doing, a recipe for anxiety. They should be fine, aside from the horror of not knowing the reason for his disappearance. The twist is, however, that not even he himself knows. He must find a way to regain his voice, if there even is a way to do so, which frightens him. There's no guarantee that he'll be able to speak again, or remove these godforsaken clothes for that matter. It isn't long until sleep takes over him, a moment of pure, uninterrupted peace. Something happened just before falling unconscious, however. For such a brief moment, he could sense something else also shutting down in his mind. The feeling was too otherworldly to be put into words. 1578 Atlantic Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 9:30 a.m. A calm and soothing morning it is. A household that's home to three little angels that hide under a cheerful yet scarred visage, forever stuck in the past, unable to let go. With uncontained excitement spread across her face, Lily rams through the door of their bedroom, where Alex still lies, sleeping. She hastily makes her way over to him, gripping his shoulders as she begins to violently shake him up and down, ironically angry now. "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" His eyes slowly spring open, puffy and tired. What? Stop! What the fuck? It's Saturday! He annoyingly states, pushing her away and facing the wall now. Only recently has she started doing this. Normally, he would know the reason for it, but his brain is barely awake still, or else he'd be springing out of bed faster than an alcoholic running for his fix. No, you don't understand. You need to come downstairs now! She shouts once again, even forgetting to tell him what for. Having let go of him, she's now hopping repeatedly like a child, unable to contain her excitement. Why, though? What could possibly be more important than her on all fours? Alex? She gets uncomfortably close to him, a psychotic grin on her face, as if holding back the urge to stab him in the throat. No one gives a fuck about your horny-ass dreams, okay? Please get up and come downstairs, she said breathlessly. He yawned while rubbing his eyes. If the reason you have is compelling enough, I will. Lawbringer news! His eyes shot open instantly upon hearing those words. Yeah, I think I should head downstairs now, actually. He kicks the sheet away and gets up, the two of them rushing downstairs like kids at the time of their favorite cartoon. Arriving at the living room shortly after, the TV was already turned on, displaying a live news report in progress. The headline reads, "Lawbringer stops suspected arsonist at a local hardware store." Alex stares at the screen on their way to the couch, instantly hooked, just like Lily was. They then sit on it, fairly close together. As you can see from these images, the store has been left in a state of utter devastation. Several storage shelves were turned into rubble, products scattered about as far as the eye can see, and the skylight was obliterated. The perpetrator has yet to be apprehended, along with the Lawbringer, both suspected to be on the run. Witnesses and investigators alike are questioning what exactly took place inside the store, and how both appear to have left unhindered, surviving such a violent encounter. "Are you serious? Look at that! It's all wrecked and shit!" Alex points at the TV. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" She eyes him with a smile. Alex's eyebrows furrow in an attempt to turn on his brain. It's still too hazy from the early morning. It doesn't take long for him to realize it. It's pretty obvious after all. "Oh, must have been a host, right? There wouldn't have been such a struggle otherwise." "Exactly! See how smart you are when you want to." Lily gave him a smack on the arm with a sly smile. "Yeah, fuck you. I'm still half awake." She laughs as their attention is gripped by the TV once more. The screen transitions to a close-up of the wrecked store and the surrounding damage. Investigators are examining the scene, while onlookers are kept behind police tape. A bored crowd seeking the entertainment of tragedy. The authorities were called by several citizens who reported an explosion going off during the night, what would later be discovered to have been a propane tank, the main cause of all the wreckage. Additionally, the confrontation seems to have not started at the store, but instead at the Riverside Park just one block away, as proven by one of its power boxes having been somehow thrown into the lake. Signs of resistance were also found at the scene. "The Lawbringer is obviously a host too, right?" Alex asked. "Most likely, but I can't help but feel something different about him." "Really? How so?" "Yeah, I'm not sure how to put it into words." The relentless investigation regarding the Lawbringer is also undergoing, as authorities struggle to find any leads to this insidious killer. Their eyes were so glued to the screen it was difficult to look away, as one wouldn't while watching a concert from their favorite idol. A dangerous admiration it is. It might even get them killed. "I'll riot if they put him in jail," Alex says, hand covering his mouth. He's not even sure why he sees him that way, but it sounds like the morally good thing to say. "I don't think you'll have to." The house remains as it is, quiet and soothing, the horrors from the outside world attempting to find their way through like echoes. That's what tragedy is for everyone, nothing more than echoes. Their presence lingers on, affecting them in the moment, but eventually fades away, forgotten, as if they were never there to begin with. That school shooting yesterday? I already forgot about that. As for the arsonist involved, no further evidence has risen about the suspects. They've been described by witnesses to be a tall white male wearing a winter balaclava, a white tank top and black trousers. Considering the circumstances, he is also suspected to be a host. The camera now shifts to the park, showing a group of police divers preparing to safely retrieve the power box from the lake. "Morning," their mother says, coming down the stairs behind them. She's still sleepy, her footsteps barely announcing her arrival, or perhaps they were just too focused to hear them. "Good morning, hi Mom," they both say, their gaze still stuck to the TV. She briefly glances at the screen while making her way to the kitchen, a faint glare on her face before disappearing around the corner. A brief interview clip plays, showing two local residents speaking into the microphone. They seem to think as if everyone wants to know their opinion on the most recent baseball game. "We were there, dog. We even got both of them on camera. Dude was sprinting after him like you wouldn't believe it. We thought of following them into the store, but we weren't feeling all that suicidal yesterday, you know. Anyway, you would not believe how unprofessional." The camera quickly switched to another witness speaking, while everyone watching from the comfort of their homes craved more information about the incident as if it were a drug. "There's not much to dissect here, unfortunately," Lily stated, a disappointing glint becoming more and more evident in her eyes. "Yeah, maybe they'll uncover more about the arson dude." With so many questions and so few answers, the community is left to speculate. Authorities are working tirelessly to uncover the whereabouts of these two men. The coming hours and days will hopefully shed more light on this tragic and mysterious event. The screen transitions back to the anchor, that usual lifeless stare at the camera. The banner then updates to read, "Investigation ongoing. More than a host?" We'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates as they become available. Stay tuned to Channel 9 News for more on this developing story. The camera cuts to a wide shot of the park scene before fading to a commercial break. "That wasn't all that great," Alex says. Sadly. Can you imagine what it would be like, though, to watch something like that before your very eyes? I really hope we get to see it one day. From a safe distance, of course. Wouldn't want to get caught in the crossfire. He leaned back on the couch. Yeah. Still find myself wondering what the orbs are, and where they came from. Maybe it's something from outer space, like a parasite or something. It hijacks your brain and gives you epic superpowers. I think you're stretching it. That just sounds absurd. Like the things we see happening in the world aren't absurd already. Hell, even worse. Alex eyed her with an expressionless face. Good point, actually, she replies before letting out a chuckle. Now that I think about it, our definition of absurd has been so warped over the last few decades. True. Remember the golden age of crime in the 2010s? You'd see so many absurd things on TV on a daily basis. The word just lost all of its meaning by now. Yeah, those were some wild times. Remember when the Zodiac Killer was caught? That shit was a global phenomenon. It's no wonder it marked the end of that era. Oh my god, that was so fucking cool. It was that badass detective who fought against him in the lighthouse in California, right? I forgot his name. The fuck? How could you forget his name? It's Oliver Reed. That's like forgetting George Washington's name. I've got enough names to memorize in my daily life already, so kindly piss off with that. He's still around, right? I wonder if he's already onto the Lawbringer. That isn't a question at all, really. He was always responsible for tackling the worst of the worst. It's a shame that the Anarchy Angels are too much for him due to sheer numbers. Lily flashed a glare forward for a moment upon mentioning the gang, a few tears beginning to come out of her eyes. Noticing it, Alex was quick to act, pulling her onto his shoulder, which she leans into. There. A few dozen seconds pass by, the intrusive ads on the TV barely bothering them. Alex's mind, aside from consoling his sister, was also focused on her words regarding the Lawbringer, while hers was being haunted by the gaping thought that still plagues them to this very day. "Alex?" she asked with a more quiet tone, hinting at something beneath. "Hmm?" He looked down at her. "Let's say that, hypothetically, you had a chance to help him in some way. Would you take it?" "The Lawbringer?" "Yeah. I mean..." He looked sideways for a moment. "I don't know. I do value my life. We can certainly fight, but we're not hosts. So we'd be as helpful as two crippled squirrels. Why are you even asking something like that? Dad, she let out with a husky breath. He knows very well what she means by that single word. Don't think about it, please. He pulled her even closer, wrapping his arm around her. I don't care if it's just stupid. There's something in me that's screaming to help him, but... She rubbed both eyes with one hand. God, I sound so sappy right now. But you know what I mean, I think. I do. I'd also like to find out who did it to this day, and put them in the grave. Although, how do you even plan on being face to face with him? I don't know. There has to be a way. Oh, what if he can give us orbs? She asked, her head perking up at him, a small smile now present. Lily, come on, Alex said with a flat tone. Whatever. We could just help him some other way. His expression turned sour and worrisome. What are you gonna do? Try to find him on the streets? You're not being realistic, as you usually aren't when you get like this. The truth still pokes at her pride. Fuck you. Yeah, that's exactly the plan. And not me. Us. She booped her own nose, then his. Alex leaned his head against the backrest, his closed eyes narrowing. Oh my god, there's no way you're serious right now. Please, Alex. He's gotta be after them too, right? Let's just test the waters, okay? If anything is sure to go wrong, we back out. The rational side of him sees this as an obviously bad idea, yet the other one is making it difficult to resist. It's only natural that her sister would share some of this flaw with him. The temptation is too much. They're looking at the possibility to solve the biggest unfinished business of their lives, one of the worst pains one can bear. Okay, we can try. Emphasis on that. Yay, thanks! She happily hugs him. I don't think this is an appropriate reaction, but oh well. Yeah, it really isn't. Let's just go have breakfast now, come on. Okay. They let go of each other and stood up from the couch, meeting up with their mom in the kitchen to start the day properly. The thought of wanting to help the wicked man lingers on their minds, no matter the sheer stupidity of it.